to episode 2 of Trash Conspiracies. Let me get some plugs out of the way. Number one plug, thank you to Vodka for giving me the inspiration to dive down these rabbit holes that I dive down. Plug number 2, thank you to Janie Hart. Look her up. I'll post some links after the show for her. She designed my logo. She's dope. She's also an excellent spirit guide if you're into that kind of thing. And then third, last plug, if you live in the greater Boston area, please call Mike Setlow to deliver you some things. He needs the work. He's my roommate. He needs to pay rent. I mean, I guess I could plug myself too. I am the trash pan. Also have a show on Saturday called These Are the Headlines, where I do actual fake news. A bunch of comedians, I give them headlines and they write their own stories. It's literally a fake news show, but it's a lot of fun. And I will be doing that again on Saturday, this Saturday. And since I did bring this podcast to you, I am drinking on my quarantini. I will be going live tomorrow on this same page to teach you how to make a perfect quarantini. Now that we got all of that out of the way, tonight's episode is one of the 7 wonders of the world, if not currently the greatest wonder in the world, aside from whatever else is going on currently in the world. Now, I'm talking about the pyramids and who really built the pyramids. I know. A lot of people want to say aliens. Sure. That's an okay explanation. And some people want to say biblical levels of slavery. I'm going to tell you, that's also an acceptable answer, but you're only half right. I can tell you right now, with the research I have done in a week, that the pyramids were definitely built by dinosaurs. I know it sounds weird, but hear me out. I'm gonna take you down the whole timeline. So, I think it was like 2,500 BC that the pyramids were finished. And these are just the base stats that we know that we're working off of. So, 2,500 BC, pyramids are finished. It took about 23 million like giant limestone rocks to complete, weighing between 20 and 70 tons apiece. And if you look at the map, some of these stones were taken from directly across the river, and this is where the conspiracy actually gets more validation. The majority of the stones were taken from a quarry somewhere about 500 miles south of Giza or Egypt, where the pyramids currently are. Who knows? They may lift off one day. Just saying. I'm not saying it's not aliens. I'm just saying it's dinosaurs. So here's where the dinosaurs conspiracies actually come in. In 2013, there was a new discovery of some new papyri. I don't know the plural. I'm not good at English. But some old scrolls, essentially. And they dated it back from 2014, or 2013, sorry. 2013, they dated it back over 4,500 years. 4,500 years. Which, and coincidentally, lines up with about the time that the pyramids were finished. These scrolls were discovered, and I want you to remember this name, by a Professor Nabir Al Samad. I would show you a picture of him, but we don't have one, and I'll get to that later too. I'm telling you, this gets deep. This runs deep. So we discovered these new old scrolls, whatever. However, what's interesting about these scrolls is since they're dated literally to almost exactly when the pyramids were finished, some of these scrolls were written by people who worked on the pyramids or worked around them, whatever. And these new scrolls have hieroglyphics that distinctly and accurately portray dinosaurs, specifically long neck brontosaurus type dinosaurs. Uh, the only difference, and I think it's just a little bit of how Egyptian art was going on at there's the style of their art and hieroglyphics. The only difference between a picture of a brontosaurus and hieroglyphics and a brontosaurus from what we see in a museum is the Egyptians put a cat head on it. And that's just typical for, I mean, that's the Egyptians like thing. They just love cats. And I can get a dinosaur face is a little bit difficult to draw. And if you recognize this lizard as almost like it's building a structure for what you consider a god, it may as well be a god itself. I'm just, well, in retrospect, if I saw a dinosaur right now, I might bow down. I might just bow down and let it eat me because that's wrong. I wouldn't do that. I would run, is what I would do. But no, so there's actual references to names for these creatures in the hieroglyphics and scrolls that they found called sauropods, which is interesting since the common name for that specific type of dinosaur is known as sauropods today. So that's a direct translation and evolution of the term itself. What those scrolls describe is dinosaurs being trained to carry and lift these loads. And if I can bring it back, there was in 2000. Oh no, here's where we get to 2014. That's why I got. In 2014, there was actual archaeological discovery of a new dinosaur called, if I'm saying this correctly, the Paralititan, which ironically looks a little bit like a brontosaurus. You remember I go back and I told you these stones weighed anywhere between 20 and 70 tons, depending on the stone and its location within the pyramid. These dinosaurs have been figured to be 90 feet long and weigh about 70 tons themselves. Now, I'm just saying, an ant can carry 50 times its own weight. A dinosaur can carry its own weight. I can carry my own weight, not very far. I have a broken knee. That's my deal. I'm just saying, a dinosaur, a thunder lizard, could definitely handle this. How are we getting stones? I can understand maybe it takes a while to get stones from the quarry across the river in Egypt to the current location, which has been proven. But we've also proven that these stones came from 500 miles south, all the way up to the top of the Delta Nile. where the pyramids currently sit. And I I don't know of a raft that could they didn't have like cruise ship boats. You know what I'm saying? They they would build a wooden raft at best, and I don't know one that you could build big enough to get down the Nile with more than one 70-ton stone. Now I say all this because it's confirmation of a previous finding. It's confirmation of in 1898, almost 1900, this the discovery of the Narmer plate, or the Namer plate, or the Narmer plate. I'm not, I can't remember exactly. I think it's the Narmer plate. And even before these new scrolls were found, you if you look at the image on the back, there's actually two creatures with long necks, and their necks wrap around each other. That's a brontosaurus, bruh. Sorry, it's not a brontosaurus. It's a paralotitan. That is documented evidence right there. Carbon dated. Carbon dated. And it lines up with the discovery of the paralotitan, which was found 25 miles south of Egypt. You want to blame it on aliens. You want to think there's this big government conspiracy to maybe for flat earth or whatever the fuck. But no, it's all actually trying to cover up the fact that dinosaurs built the pyramids. And why would you want to cover that up? Why would you want to cover up the fact that dinosaurs built the pyramids? It seems like it would be an amazing find, right? Well, what if the Egyptians are the reason the dinosaurs went extinct? Not because of some big giant meteor explosion. No, the dinosaurs went extinct out of exhaustion. It took like 20 years of manual dino labor per pyramid. I'm not saying that this is true. I'm just saying these are the facts. And I want to bring it back to my homeboy because Professor Nabir al-Samad, at the time of this found, it was like the greatest discovery he ever made. However, if you look him up today, he doesn't exist. He was an Egyptologist, which is a real thing I found out this week. I didn't know just like studying Egypt itself as a whole science. New to me. But like the man's like first big discovery, and now every record of him doesn't exist. Again, if I didn't want anybody to know that my people were responsible for the extinction of an entire species, I'd do a cover up too. I'm just saying, like, it worked for the Jews. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That was a little too far. Fuck. I might be drunk. Look, I might be drunk. And if you want to get as drunk as I do, learn how to make the quarantini tomorrow on my page at the same time. These are the facts. This is what I have for you today. Dinosaurs built the pyramid. Egyptians made the dinosaurs go extinct. This is Trash Panda. Get fucked.